Welcome everyone. Here we are today with Jason. This is Mariela, and we are on another episode of the J&M show. As we said before, we are going through the 16 personality traits program, and this is helping our relationship tremendously in so many ways. So stay tuned. I am going to start, and would you like to say something?
I haven't got to say anything yet.
I'm sorry.
Oh, she introduced me. She didn't give me a chance to speak, but that's all right. Yeah, let's jump right into rebalancing self-confidence.
Should I start reading?
You always go first, so yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so the basic need for recognition. Just a quick point, guys. I am the logistician in this 16 personality traits, and Jason is the commander.
Yes.
So the basic need for recognition. A sense of belonging is a basic human need, and logisticians are notoriously weak at self-promotion. And yet, their self-confidence depends on the sense that others value what they do. Aided by their introverted qualities, they can easily fade into the background if they are not careful. Some people are naturals at self-promotion, and some people are not. To that end, self-promotion for introverts is now a thing on the internet. For some people, self-promotion might be thought of as a stress management technique because it helps individuals relax more into their lives and feel more comfortable in their skins, rather than experiencing stress at feeling left behind because the extroverts seem to be having all the glory. Logisticians and other introverts may want to explore strategies for getting the attention they deserve. Getting attention can help them get ahead and feel like a vital part of any group to which they belong. For logisticians, recognition provides a potential boost for their self-confidence. I have to agree with that, especially early on in our marriage.
Well, I mean, I was just thinking kind of recently with your previous job there, you had at one point, you're not out there promoting yourself. That's true. Being more of an introvert, being quiet, you're definitely not, that seeking that self-promotion or promoting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But it did make you it was very rewarding when you had to lead a couple of study groups and people gave you feedback of how good they were.
Yes.
How they were going to miss you and all that kind of stuff. So that was something that you didn't seek it out, but it really helped you when people gave you, hey, they were so good, we really enjoyed it, we're going to miss you and all that kind of stuff. So it was definitely recognition. You weren't seeking it out.
The fact that it just came to me made me feel 100%.
Especially
better.
after you had to leave that last position and you were
Yes.
upset about it, and then people gave you that really good feedback, so that was cool.
Mm-hmm. That was
but yeah,
excellent.
definitely being an introvert, and we talked about that too, right? Is how you not getting the recognition causes you to kind of draw into yourself. So.
Yes, and then overthink things like, oh, am I doing things right? Or questioning myself a lot.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
All right.
Diminishing your self-confidence, right?
Yes.
So sharing momentum. There's no reason commanders need to trample others. Firm direction and vigorous momentum can be used to another effect, moving people forward together. They can rebalance their tendency to dominate by creating appealing opportunities for others to willingly join with them. They needn't dilute their visions to share them, but by respecting others, commanders can make others more likely to appreciate what they're trying to do. And if people don't choose to join, these types can extend respect further by not dragging others into something they don't want. What does this look like in the real world? Commanders can magnanimously welcome others into their plans in the hopes that they will become a helpful part of the action. They can describe their ideas and mission with bright vigor, and those who see the virtues of their views may offer their own contributions. Commanders certainly have the mental agility to incorporate others. ideas into their own vision, and they often find unexpected inspiration through such brainstorming. They can rebalance their runaway train mentality by inviting some passengers aboard using the following exercises. So mine is always quite a bit longer than yours.
I know, right?
When engaging in a goal, whether personal or professional, watch how it seems to affect other people. How are they reacting? Share personal excitement and inspiration with them. If people aren't behind the idea, ask them for suggestions on ways to make it better. Benefit and responsibility often go together, so inviting people to participate constructively can help. Whenever possible, use others' input to create broadly appealing gains. If others still don't like the goal despite the previous steps, and if you still plan to act, try to be respectful. Make it clear that your intention to move forward anyway isn't personal. Reiterate that you are seeking cooperation and consider to revisit the issue later.
You know what, I like that because it will work for like team building, right? And
Yeah.
what people are trying to do. And I would say, it will help you out maybe to print this out to keep in mind as a leader, of a group.
Yeah. Well, I would tell you the way I kind of read that was, again, for me, I don't think I wasn't, just if we go back a few years to when you were doing a little more pushing, trying to be involved in the business. It's funny, I guess I don't even think I was really like consciously saying no, but I was thinking again that I was able to control everything, that I could handle it.
Yes.
And I guess maybe that's just kind of like an extreme end of that commander, and it's not like I haven't in the past listened to others, or I don't take other people's opinions or invite people in. I think especially with like the previous role, I just had kind of got into a groove where like I was going to handle it. It was me, and it would have been good to welcome in you and other voices and really collaborate, which is what we're doing now.
Yeah, and that's what I wrote, create appealing opportunities to others to join them. So, like you said, you weren't creating that, and therefore there was a lot of friction between the relationship, and, your business wasn't thriving as good as you wanted it to be.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but yeah.
Yeah, it would have been, I guess it could have been a different story had the business been going through the roof, and, but it wasn't, and I was thinking that I was just going to be able to figure it out on my own. And that was not a good plan.
That's right. So we are going to continue reading mine, and it says relating to oneself and others. At first, logisticians may want to promote themselves to themselves. Taking inventory of one's value can be the first step to gaining the confidence needed to shine publicly. Even if self-promoting or promotion goes no further, the logisticians can assure themselves of their belonging in a group as a valuable member. Logisticians can be insular, and that alone can cause them to fade into the wallpaper. But they still value relationships if they can think of self-promotion as part of a relationship. They might find it easier to tell others who they are and what they do. This perspective may feel less like they are blowing their own horn, and more like they are sharing themselves openly with others. I like that.
Okay.
I think that I can relate to that too. So
yeah,
it says here I still value relationships, and that is very true. And then it says if I can think of self-promotion as part of a relationship, then that will help me out to, it might be easier for me to tell others who am I and what I do. So.
Okay. That's pretty good. All right, willingness to fail. Failure is hard for commanders, but perfection is a logical impossibility. So accepting the inevitability of occasional failure can release them from frustration with themselves. Instead of pinning their self-confidence purely on success, and suffering the attendant stress of such a limited view. These types can focus on their ongoing improvement. And I will tell you, finally coming to face with, failure, which is something really cool conversation we had a few weeks ago, which really kind of kicked off where we're at right now, and it was both of us kind of admitting some failures, right? But for me personally, it was really a weight off my shoulder when I was able to finally look and say, hey, this thing failed. You did everything you thought you could. It failed. And then after that was released, I had a really much more clear mind. I was able to really let go of a lot of stress and anxiety and that kind of thing. And once it was recognized, it kind of just left. And now it is just what it is. To create balanced self-confidence, they can examine disappointing experience with all of their intellectual might to extract useful insights. And that's true. I mean, especially with what we're going through right now, this new process, this new entrepreneurship that we're doing. My past experiences are helping me to see the value in what we're currently doing. Insights, turning such events into opportunities. Asking, what can I learn from this, is a critical step to becoming better. Those who define themselves only by their success can have many opportunities to feel terrible. But forging setbacks into something useful is a command move that affirms an ability to progress, and balanced self-confidence blossoms from such ability. One bold way to practice handling failure is to deliberately engage it with low stakes. So there's a whole bunch of examples here. I'll just read a couple for the consideration of time. Pick skilled activity with which you are completely unfamiliar. At a painting night, tennis lesson, dance class, public karaoke.
This is crazy.
Consider inviting trusted friends into the experience, people who share laughter, not judgment. Participate in the activity, relax your mind and stay in the moment. While doing it, deliberately set the following mental bars for success. So I guess it's kind of saying, do something that you're not competent in. Try it, and if you fail, have people around you, participate in the activity, allow yourself to fail. Okay, I can see that. I don't personally feel right now that I need to do that, simply because of the failure that I've just experienced has taught me a lot.
And going through this is teaching
I'm going through this as well and being aware of it. So I would say that's kind of what we have been doing, though, too, is examining it and I guess
and actually practicing uncomfortableness, because at the beginning this was uncomfortable for you, very uncomfortable.
I would say so.
And now look at this, by practicing that, you are actually embracing it now.
There you go. All right, we've got a couple of minutes left here, if my clock is right. So why don't you wrap us up with this elevator pitch if you can?
Yes, I will do that. So, and lastly, there is the old reliable elevator speech, the 30-second speech that one might give during the span of a typical elevator ride that sums up who the one given the pitch is. It is a way to brand oneself and to get others to pay healthy attention. Logisticians don't have to confine their elevator pitches to professional use. As an example, Bobby's logistician dad might present himself to Bobby's 5th grade teacher and other parents at the PTA meeting in the following fashion. I am Bobby's dad, chauffeur, knee scrape doctor, and home study hall supervisor. While he depends on his mom to help him with everyday homework, I am around for his larger projects. So, if the diorama doesn't cut it, you can blame Bobby, but my hand was involved in the crime as well. Obviously, running around a room repeating this can sound odd, so variations on a theme are acceptable and perhaps preferred. This pitch is breezy, yet defining description of what Bobby's dad does for him. It is even slightly self-effacing for those who are more comfortable being humble. Bobby's dad may have a work version of this, or even a golf course version. It is like a commercial slogan that repeats the speaker's attributes and gives others a chance to know them and their role in the group. It can be very effective at bringing someone who is usually in the background more to the forefront. I like that.
That's a little humble brag.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, we've got to wrap it up for today. That was good.
That was excellent. And you know what? Quite honestly, I'm going to give you a little bit more insight on this. It has been for many, many years very uncomfortable for me to talk about myself. During interviews, during interviews with employers in the past, and just even introducing myself at the school and letting them know who I am. So yes. So with that said, we are going to wrap it up. Here is Jason, this is Mariela signing off. Till next time, guys.
See you later.
See you then.